buttons here. Let's see. I got one last thing I got to do real fast. Won't take but a moment. Let's see. Put it in here. Yes. And then how about
I can breathe now.
what is that? What was that spray? What is that you got
This
going?
is Flonase.
Oh, yeah.
Good old Flonase.
Yeah, it does it. It does the trick.
It should. Yeah, let's hope.
My experience has been that it works.
Oh, just kidding. Oh yeah, did you not, because we did we had the problems with Brian Dunaway and then getting Gidget, did you not finish your no solicitor thing yesterday with the Vivint guy? I thought you did.
I thought I did. I think I did.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, because you basically pointed at the sign, didn't say a word, turned around and closed the door.
Yeah, that was me. Yeah, why did someone in the chat say I didn't finish it?
Yes, somebody. Let's see, that was Taxi Cab. Apparently doesn't listen.
No, they're not.
Taxi Cab.
Not really listening, are they?
Taxi Cab.
Yeah, well done. Maybe y'all should listen. Maybe listening to a podcast is the thing you can do. All right. For real now. It's ready. So here we go. Right. Test 1 2 1 2. We're good. It begins in 3. Oops, there we go. 3, 2, 1. Coming up on TMS, put some fiber in your digital diet.
I'd like a Big Mac and some sanctuary, please.
I'm not racist. My dog is black.
Those turkeys are aggressive.
Potato kids ruin everything.
Therapy Thursday and more on this episode of The Morning Stream.
On everybody, every single person that you or I has ever known is dead. Dead.
I don't know.
This is The Morning Stream. Do you like penicillin on your pizza?
It's a little Metzen laugh for you there.
Wow, that times perfectly with a do.
Yeah, he a while back when I was interviewing him, he had a couple of moments where he would like make a funny noise, and I thought, hey, I should keep those. And so there's that one right there. Hope you enjoyed it, everybody, because you probably won't hear it again. Welcome to the morning stream. It is TMS 1709 for Thursday, May 16th, 2019. This is Scott Johnson. That is Brian Ibbett.
Hi, everybody. Hello. Hi.
Hey, someone in the chat wants you to do a story on command.
I know. Sunshine 1990. Brian, will you tell the story again about how you awkwardly gave that guy a bro handshake when he was trying to take the garbage from you when they delivered that bed or whatever it was? I don't do requests.
No.
Sorry.
No, impressions maybe, quick voice or something.
Impressions, absolutely. You asked me to do an impression, although the way my sinuses are right now, I don't know who I could do right now, but it feels like...
Do you blame is it the thing that you had in Vegas? Is it the air? Is it the...
No, I'm totally blaming the cold. Whatever it was that I came back with from Vegas was, has lingered with me. It's like left this remnant, and it makes me feel like I've got about an extra, 8 to 12 inches of tongue that's kind of folded in the back of my throat. I can't do anything with it, like Gene Simmons' tongue, but like compacted in the back of my throat, so it's like trying to get my throat cleared up.
So I've had a similar thing where it's just really dry back there all the time, like all the time. Doesn't matter how much I drink water or anything, and I wonder if it's just, for me, I think it's allergies or something. Like I don't know what's causing it.
I was thinking allergies too for me, and it's like I don't get allergies though, so I don't think that's it. And the allergic to tequila, but that's
you didn't have any of that. You avoid
didn't have
stuff.
any of that.
Yeah.
But I wake up at about 4:30, 4:45 every morning since Vegas, gasping for air. Even with the CPAP, it's like for whatever reason at that point my nose has sealed shut, and the CPAP just can't force another PSI of air into my body, and I'm like, wake up and just can't get back to sleep. So I'm running pretty much, for the last couple of weeks, running on about, I don't know, 5 hours of sleep a night.
It's not
something
enough.
Like that.
You need more than that.
No, I
Yeah.
need more than that.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing the doctor today. It's funny because I called the doctor this morning. I said, I'm just enough of this. That it's got to deal with this and get it dealt with.
Yeah.
And I call the doctor and say, so I'm having this problem, sinus issues for the last couple of weeks. The cold is pretty much gone, or just I think almost completely gone.
Yeah.
But I'm still having the sinus issue, and I'm waking up having a hard time breathing. Oh, okay. Well, we're fully booked through the end of the week. How's Monday? Like, well, I guess my inability to breathe isn't that urgent. I
Yeah.
guess I can wait until Monday.
Yeah, and you don't want to. I mean, an ER visit for this sort of thing is ill-advised, probably.
And she also didn't get my sarcasm. Said, "Okay, great. I have a 1 p.m." Like, all right, really? Monday is the best you can do, and I even said it like that. If Monday's the best you can do, put me down. But do me a favor, call me if anything opens up, if there's any cancellation. She called about 5 minutes later.
Wow.
We had a cancellation for 1:45 p.m. today. Would that work? I'm like, yes, put me down. I'm there.
5 minutes. Wow. Did someone cancel in that time, or did she realize there was a cancellation?
I think somebody canceled that time because I think she would probably. She didn't get my sarcasm enough to where she'd feel bad about coming clean and saying, "Oh, I didn't see that we had an opening." I think she just would have said that and not been aware of it. But so 1:45.
It's a good. You'll get in there. What do they do though? What do you think they'll do? Have you huff into a pipe and do all that stuff? Like,
So he'll have the little, and I can't remember because I don't know if I've told you, but my previous doctor, Dr. Glasscock, and I'm not kidding about his name,
right,
has retired.
This. Yeah.
And I can't remember the name of the new person I'm seeing, but he's Dr. Glasscock's replacement.
Dr. Steel Penis.
Exactly. Dr. Fleshrod or something like that. But anyway, he's gonna go and he's gonna have the little battery operated pen light device that has a little light, and he's gonna look down my throat and say, oh yeah, actually it does feel a little swollen. And then he's gonna rub right here. Oh yeah, those feel do they hurt? Are they achy? Are they okay? All right, now take your shirt off.
Yep, take off your shirt, turn the cough, yo.
Right, exactly.
And pay us $50 for this is what they'll say.
Right.
Here's your copay or whatever. I was hearing this horrible story the other day. Kim told me about some. We were just talking about how crappy American healthcare can be. Not the actual health. The actual care in the health is fine. It's the cost and the inability to afford people's insurance.
It's everything that happens once the doctor is done.
Yeah.
That blows.
Or knowing going in that you're going to come out of there, in debt or whatever because you can't meet your deductible, and deductibles is its own brand of shit magic. But anyway, we were talking about somebody who their kid drank I can't remember what it was, something super poisonous. What was it? I don't remember now. Drank or
cleanser, like a household cleanser.
It was
or something
like that, or it was maybe some pills she shouldn't have gotten into, or something like that. Anyway. In any other circumstance, you would rush that kid to the hospital. In fact, they called and said, what do we do? And they said, you need to get her in here. They'll do a stomach pump. They have to, got to do this now. Do it now because it could be really bad.
Well, we have an opening at 1.
Well, even then, so they were like, just take her to the ER and go. And so, what these people did? Because they couldn't afford it, they went out and parked in a parking lot near the hospital with their daughter in the back of the car who's watching some, movie on a phone and just watched her, hoping that if she doesn't show any worse signs, then we don't have to go in there and we don't have to pay this.
Oh my God.
And they were, they were terrified that what they were doing, they were basically gambling with the kid's life because they can't do it.
I mean, they were doing the proximity equivalent of hit 911, but don't push the send key.
Yeah. Yes.
Basically, if something goes wrong, all right, we just have a 10-foot walk to the front door of the ER.
Yeah.
But
it's not good.
My God.
It's not good, man. That's bad.
No.
That's bad. I don't care who you are. We gotta do better than that here. I'm not saying we go full France, but maybe a little closer to what they do. You know, not full
Even
Canada, but
Canada seems to have the right idea.
Yeah.
Come on, Canada.
yeah, they're like us. They say a few words weird, but other than that,
Mm-hmm.
they pay for all their
But
health
use
care with high taxes with coins with holes in it. It's fine.
Go a little willy-nilly with the letter U, but other than that, they're fine.
Yeah. So anyway, stuff like that blows, and I hate it. Also, I'm gonna tell you about a dog waiver. Have you ever heard of one? You know what these are?
I've heard of a dog walker,
Yeah.
but not a dog waiver. Is that just somebody comes over every once in a while and waves to your dog, or holds their paws up and says, "Oh, hi"?
I wish it was like that. Here's how it really was. Took Carter to the train today because she was a little late for getting on it, and it's her last day at work before her surgery because tomorrow she gets her eyes done. And so, have I talked about that? I may not have talked about that.
No, is she having LASIK?
No. So before LASIK, there was something called PRK, and I forget what it stands for.
Oh, yeah.
You know what that? You've heard of it.
Yeah, something per radiokeratotomy or something like that.
Close to that. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I used to know, and now I don't remember. But
you talked about this on Skim. People are saying.
Oh, that's where I talked about it. Okay. Well, basically, it comes down to this. They can't do. Trust me, it's basically TMS with a wife. So
Gotcha,
not
okay.
that different, but anyway, so her eyes are terrible. They've always been bad, and when she doesn't wear her glasses, she's basically blind. And so she's also got thin corneas, and they're worried about that because over time that can cause lots of other issues. And by the time she's 30, she could have some like serious, risks of blindness and other stuff. So, that'd be real bad for her, given her how visual her whole life is. Everything she does is visual.
Yeah.
So anyway, PRK apparently though is older and is harder to recover from and is more painful after the fact and all that kind of stuff, but takes care of this problem that LASIK can't deal with when you have thin corneas. So she should come out of there with 20/20 and be good on the cornea front, and all should be well. And it's my doctor that did my cataracts. This guy's like renowned everywhere. He's like the best. So she's going to the best. She's doing the best. He did my mom's cataracts. My mom got them when she's supposed to in her late 70s. I got them early because some genetic thing with my dad. But he's like top dude, and he's doing her as well. And I'm excited about that because now she'll be able to really see, and it'll be great. And then she's going to Japan for a week right after that. So,
where's she going? Japan?
I shouldn't say right after that. I think it's like
that's
2-3 weeks or something like that.
That's awesome. What with a college group or something?
No,
or
it's with her. It's with her. Her cousins, her Thatcher and Lexi are brother sister. My sister's kids, Misha's kids.
Yeah.
They're going there anyway because Thatcher's baby is being born over there. So they're going over there early to do a little sightseeing, and they invited her. And got screaming deals on like tickets and places to stay and all this stuff. So she's like,
so cool.
I'm going to Japan. So she's off to
so
Japan.
envious. We loved that place. Should send her to that restaurant that I talked about on the show with the guy who the Robin Williams of Tokyo.
Right. I've actually been giving her a couple of recommendations based on stuff you did. I told her you have to go to Akihabara and see all the crazy video game
For
business.
sure. You got to go to the robot restaurant.
Oh yeah.
That robot battle restaurant thing.
And she's 22. Well, I don't know what age rules they have in Japan, but she's 22 now. She can go to whatever.
Well, and it's not I mean, you can go there. It's an any age kind of thing. Both of the things, the restaurant and the robot restaurant. It's not like a, secret nightclub bar below the surface kind of thing. It's like a, there are people there of all of it. Tristan was with us, and he was.
He was under 21.
He was 19.
Yeah.
18.
Yeah. Oh, Nick's birthday today too. He's 19 today. Crazy, right?
Oh, happy birthday, Nick.
Yeah, the town crier. Old enough to... What do you do at 19? Old enough to smoke, is it? I don't know what you do.
I don't know. I don't know if 19 gives you anything that 18 didn't give you. Now you have a little extra knowledge under your belt for that crucial 2020 vote that he's going to get to... election that he's going to get to.
Oh, right. That's true. He hasn't
first vote for.
He did vote. Let's see. Did he vote in the... No, he did vote in November for the midterms.
Sure. Okay.
I think.
Yeah,
but not a
midterms,
major. I agree. You got to go full, like... It's got to be the one.
Yes. I guess the comptroller can keep their job. Sure. The incumbent comptroller.
State sheriff seems to be doing a good job. Leave him in there. Anyway, here's the story about the dog waiver. Now, it
Yeah, I'm
sounds,
sorry. Yeah, this was all.
Yeah.
This was all after dog waiver.
So,
All right, please.
so the thing about it sounds like a thing you'd get from the government to allow you to have a dog or something, a dog waiver.
Right.
But no, not that
Right.
kind of waiver. Spelled different. I'm taking Carter to the train. Oh, that's what I was saying. Taking Carter to the train.
Oh, right.
And that's where I went off on her eye surgery. Anyway, so I'm on my way back, and I pull up to a stop sign. And if I need to go left, which I do, there's a little tiny crosswalk there that people can cross on. And I pull up to the sign, and I stop because it's a stop sign. I'm following the rules. It's a stop sign.
It's what you do. Yes.
You stop, you hold, you wait, you look around, you do the requisite 3 seconds or whatever it is, and then
Right.
you move on. Well, in this case, I had just barely stopped there, and this lady was already halfway through the thing with her dog.
Okay.
Great big furry mutt looking thing, and a little shorty lady with sunglasses on. And she was right in the middle of the intersection there, like she's halfway over, and I'm stopped. I've come to a complete stop, and
Sure.
she stops what she's doing. She turns around. Oh, no, I shouldn't even turn around. She just backs up like bert, and brings the dog with her back to the starting point of where you were going to start crossing the road, even though she's got full right of way and I'm not going anywhere. Backs all the way up and then does this with her arm. This is gonna, you can't see this at home, but just imagine a big roundhouse like this, just going like that.
Like, okay.
Like
So-
waving me on, like with a huge wave as if I can't see it. Like a miles away. She's just going, like she's trying to land
like
a
she's
aircraft
flagging
carrier.
down a DC-10
Yes.
to direct him over to Gate 94 for...
Yeah, she didn't have the big glowy wands or whatever, but she was just like
Right.
that. And she has this look on her face like, I have just ruined her day. I'm like, I'm literally parked here following the rules. You have right of way as a pedestrian anyway. I'm not going. So finish your
What's
half
crazy is
walk.
that she decides that she was already partly across the street to back up and start over after you pass. Like she's thinking, she's either saying, "Oh, I take too long to cross the street, so I'm going to go ahead and let this car play through." Like she's at the 7th hole at Augusta, or she's just afraid that you're just going to barrel through and squish her and her little friend Toto.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like to this moment, I don't understand. The only thing I can think is she had some kind of, maybe in her past, she had like like an experience that freaked her out.
once bitten, twice shy of a street crossing.
Maybe like she was halfway through once and somebody sped through and bonked her or killed her dog or something weird like that. Like I don't know.
I really, honestly, when I saw this in there, I thought it was going to be a waiver that you had to sign with your homeowners association to have a dog or something. But
Oh my gosh, no.
this is far better.
This is
Far
way better, and I've never seen this woman before. I may see her again. I don't know, but I'm flummoxed by her weird behavior. It just weirded me out.
Regular path, regular time that you go to take Carter to the
normal
to the
stuff.
train?
And she's
good.
never
Well,
there. Never been.
I
there
hope
before.
you see her again. I really do.
I do too. And here's me in the car by myself, no radio on. I'm just coming back, and there's and the windows are up, so she doesn't hear this. But here's what I see. All right, she does the big wave, and in my kind of annoyance, you hear me in the car go, "Okay, all right, okay," and I just start turning.
I'm sure it totally is.
I was so annoyed. So annoyed. But I did notice along the side of the street where she was, and a lot of where I drive Carter, I noticed they're laying a bunch of fiber. Fiber. I wonder if this means Google fiber. It could mean anybody. It could be any
bunch of fiber.
I
Cool.
just want fiber. Like I want fiber so bad. I want to go gigabit up and down. I want I want it so bad. And seeing these guys lay it, and it's all fiber. I know because the big wheels of this, protected whatever it is. Whether you just have it spooled, they have on the side of it says something fiber on there. So there's fiber going in, yo.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I love that. And the fact that it's going in your neighborhood, your area, you know, it's like, it's not even like you have to go and watch Draper get fiber ahead of you guys.
Right, which I think they may have, those bastards.
Oh.
Well, actually, you know what? Now that I say, I don't think they did. Because, it's certainly Google Fiber. They stopped north of us by like 5 or 6 blocks. And again, this could be them. This could be anybody. This could be, what's the other one we use around here? You have it too. Your ISP is the same as one I can get here. CenturyLink.
Quest. CenturyLink, right?
Yeah,
Formerly Quest,
Used to be
formerly
Quest.
US West.
Yeah. They keep changing their name. What's their deal? Anyway, could be them. I don't
see
care
here.
who it is. I'll take it. You give me consistent, solid, awesome fiber every day. You have my money. You will get my monthly.
Interesting. Decided to look and see Arvada and fiber, and the city of Arvada, arvada.org website. In 2016, Arvada voters opted out of SB 152 to enable local governments to be more involved in broadband services, which apparently the ultimate goal is to create a quote-unquote smart city. Examples include improving traffic flow, blah, 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 provision of high-speed internet to students and school administrators. That doesn't help me.
No.
Ability to lease broadband capacity to public and private providers to provide the community with more high-speed connectivity options.
Okay.
Well, whatever.
Yeah. Hey,
This
Brian.
doesn't answer my question.
No, this doesn't even go. This goes nowhere near your question.
Oh, here we go. We have the DOP. The city has a strategy, Dig Once policy, or DOP, to install fiber conduit in coordination with street repairs, construction projects, whenever those projects align with the city master fiber optic plan. So I guess they're hoping that whenever they have to dig holes, they're just going to drop fiber in those holes as well.
While they're doing other stuff, sure.
Street lights and stuff like that.
That makes sense. They should have added everywhere at the end of that. So dig only.
Yes.
Or wait, what was it? DOP was what?
The Dig Once policy.
Dig once policy everywhere. So then it's dope.
Yeah.
It should be dope.
Dope.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Colorado, home of dope.
Yeah. I like it. Home of dope.
In all its forms.
Yeah. There was a new I forgot the name of it, but the guy, some Republican senator or somebody or congressman in Ohio or somewhere is trying to put loot box stuff into law to ban loot boxes and sort of unfair consumer practices and like free to play games where they're, trying to get you to buy gems and all that.
Yeah, like because it's a quote unquote lottery.
Yeah, basically they see it as a kind of gambling, even though I think
Sure.
I think by definition it's not. But it taps into some of the same dopamine receptors for people who are suckers for such things. So I kind of get it, and it was sort of a long time coming. And Europe's already all embroiled in this, so whatever. We're just finally starting to talk about it over here. But the point is, the shortening, the acronym for the thing he's trying to call the bill was like an F word. It was like full on like. I can't remember it. I wish I remembered it, but it basically was like just a big old F word with a couple of like if you pronounced it, it would sound like
the fiber unification conduit kingdom.
Combat or whatever. But yeah, like you would
fiber combat.
But yeah, like it would have been. I can't remember it, but it was like a big old freaking F word. Anyway, that's the thing.
Awesome.
All right. Well, we've done all we can do there. Let's dive into. Oh, Wendy will be here later, everybody. So stick around for that. Yeah, keep the number.
Helping all of us.
Indeed. Keep your. This is a thing I wanted to mention. People always send in emails for her, but you can send in voicemails. You don't have to tell us who you are. You can even change your voice a little bit if you want. So don't be afraid of that. 801-471-0462 is the.
Sure, there's an
voicemail.
iPhone app that'll disguise your voice if you look for it.
Oh, there always is, right?
Hello, this is my name
With your face in the shadow.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Steve Ballmer touched me inappropriately. I don't know why I brought up Steve Ballmer. That doesn't make any sense.
I know. Wow. Jeez.
Yeah. That's breaking news.
This is your radio newscaster with another exclusive sensational summary of world and local events.
Hey, look at it. Look at this. Hey. Look at this. It's the news, and it's brought to you by
The free comic book day Frog Pants prints have been signed, and they're on their way to be shipped to everyone who signed up for one.
That's right. It was my arm hurt. My wrist hurts from all of it. Did it yesterday.
I'm sure that's why.
Good little ache right here. Yeah, it's not because of my other chronic problem we won't talk about. But no, it was fun signing them. We always have a good time. Me and Carter, we had to hurry up and do it before she goes blind, or before she has her surgery. Because she won't be able to see after tomorrow for a few days.
I was curious about those were the designs you guys had for those were brilliant with the two combining to, appropriately form shape of a larger image. Did you guys each do your own backgrounds? Did one of you do the backgrounds for both?
I did the backgrounds for both because we wanted to have some consistency
across. Yeah.
So I drew all that ahead of time, like totally did that before we did anything else, and then I sent her this layered background thing, and then she would draw. She did her stuff on top of it. I did my stuff, and then we put them back together to make sure they worked, and they totally did. So
that's so cool.
It's really
Very
fun.
cool.
Even though my guy doesn't look much like the Wonder Twin he's supposed to be, he looks like Elvis Spock or something. It's like a fad dude. But anyway, it's cool, and I think people like it, and they go together or separate. That's what's fun about it. And we've been doing this since like 2011, so the tradition continues. And they were 100% free. If you missed it, them's the breaks, man. I warned you. I told you all about it. You should have been there on Free Comic Book Day. Hit that link and got them. It's on you, son.
Fat lot of good it does now, telling people that that they missed out. But geez.
Yeah, I don't want them to feel bad, but there's still a lot of people like, oh, I totally forgot. Well, I don't know what to tell you. It's a 1 day a week kind of thing. Oh, there's Sales Geek.
Yeah, he says 2013.
Oh, I thought we did it in 2011. We didn't, Dave? Oh, you know what? That's right. I wasn't even doing Dave stuff till 2012 or 13. So yeah, 13. Okay, that's still a lot. How many years is that?
Yeah. 5 years, 6 years now. 15,
16, 17, 18, 19. Wow. That's crazy.
I'm still thinking it's 2018 for some reason still. I don't know why, but still.
Time's weird, man. Time is super weird. We're almost halfway through this year. Don't think too hard about it. I don't want to. No. First up in the news, McDonald's. I like McDonald's stories. This one's not about food though. If you live in Austria, McDonald's will double as a mini U.S. embassy for tourists if they need any help.
Will it McDouble as an embassy?
Yes.
Why did they? USA Today missing an opportunity.
I agree.
McDonald's will McDouble as a mini U.S. embassy.
It's an obvious missed opportunity too. Like, come on, guys.
Totally.
American tourists will soon be able to get more than a Big Mac at McDonald's in Austria. The U.S. Embassy in Vienna announced on Facebook that the Golden Arches restaurants in Austria will serve as a mini embassy for American tourists. This starts Wednesday. Quote, American citizens traveling to Austria will find themselves in distress, or if they do find themselves in distress, or without a way to contact the U.S. Embassy, they can enter, as of May 15th, any McDonald's, and staff will assist them in making contact with the U.S. Embassy or consular service. This is pretty good. A consular service, for example, includes reporting of lost or stolen passports, or if you're seeking travel assistance.
I need sanctuary. Can I seek asylum here? Sure. For an extra $1, we'll supersize your asylum.
Well, see, that's a great question. They don't address this here, but that's a place where normally you would like defect, right?
Oh, I guess asylum would be right. If you're an Austrian citizen who wants to defect for whatever reason.
Yeah. Although I guess there's not a lot of reason for Austrians to defect, but I think in theory they could. Like they could go in there and claim what's the words they use? Not diplomatic immunity. That's wrong.
No, but TVZ Gon may have already won today's show title with diplomatic McMunity.
What? Did he really? That's amazing.
Yes.
Well done.
Yeah, I think that one, boy, it's going to be hard to top that. But please try. Please try.
Let's see. I have one. Oh, here you go.
Diplomatic community.
That guy's great.
Diplomatic community.
That guy's got a permanent sinus problem. He sounds like he's always stuffed up. Oh, I got another one.
Diplomatic immunity.
No, that was James. That was Daniel Craig. That's his thing.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I don't remember from what, but
something else. Yeah.
Anyway, would you like to go if you're in Austria? Would you just for fun go by there and just say, "Yeah, I'll get this food, but also, can you tell me what my options are?" Like, just have someone explain
How
it to you.
much is the McSanctuary combo meal? Can I substitute apple dippers for fries in my McSanctuary?
Yeah. Can I get Can I contact the United States Postal Service and can I have that with a hot coffee? Like, how does that work? Like, that's just a weird idea, but I guess you know what?
It really is.
Those are those are I guess well, I don't know if this is true everywhere, but franchises are usually locally owned here in the States.
Yeah.
Maybe internationally they're not. Maybe that stuff's run
Oh, could be.
by the company. So I don't know.
There's a king that's been following me for the last several blocks. I'm coming in here to seek safety. There's a little chihuahua that's following me, telling me
Yeah, they won't
he
leave
wants
me
to
alone.
Kiero my border.
There's a Noid. Nah, he's gone. They don't do the Noid anymore.
The noise of the chihuahua are gone.
Yeah, those aren't there anymore. Although the Burger King like weird freaky face Burger King, is that still a deal they do?
Don't know. I don't know. It's been a while since I've actually seen commercials. Because of streaming, and even our TiVo now. Oh, our TiVo has automatic commercial skipping. So basically, you record something that's terrestrial, and we still watch a few terrestrial things. Good Girls and the CW shows and stuff like that.
Sure.
It automatically just skips over the commercials. I don't know how that's legal or allowed, but
I remember that being a thing everyone asked for, but it felt like it was never going to happen because they wouldn't. I don't know who wouldn't allow it. Is that like an FCC thing? Like I don't know who controls that.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, but it is just awesome. It just goes. Like you don't even have to hit a button. You're basically watching your terrestrially recorded program, and it skips the commercials. I love it.
That sounds like a thing I would not be able to go back from.
Yeah, I know. It's funny because now I'd rather watch the terrestrial recorded version of Legends of Tomorrow than the one from the CW app, where I'm forced to watch the same What's in Your Wallet commercial 6 times during the episode.
Can't skip those. But hold on though. Does the thing know? Is it good about right when it starts and stops?
Yeah. It because what's great is you sometimes get the very first split second of an ad and then the very last split second of the ad before it comes back from commercial.
Yeah.
And sometimes that pairing is really bizarre. Like there was one that we had yesterday, I want to say with Survivor or Good Girls or something, where it was Celine Dion like flipping her hair for some hair commercial. She like flips her hair, and then the last thing was, ask your doctor if it's right for you, and then it comes back to our show. It's a great combo.
Yeah, I love that. All right, that's good. Nice recommendation. TiVo.
We talked about the new Apple TV app with Tom, right? Oh no, we did that on Cord Killers. The new Apple TV app that just came out.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Completely tangent here, but
no, it's okay. Well, tell me what it does. I guess I missed out on this.
Subscribe to HBO or Showtime through the app. So, like, if you get it right now through PS View or some other source, you want to cancel that subscription, get it through the Apple TV app, because it'll now let you download your HBO and Showtime content and watch it offline.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That means should be able to do that on the iPad as well, right?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, that's cool. I think I
That's
already
specifically what.
I think I already subbed it through Apple.
Yeah, then you're all set. Get the new iOS update and you've got that ability.
I'm in.
I've got it through DirecTV now, so I've got to cancel that and then add it through the Apple TV app. But it's gonna be nice.
No, that is nice. There's a lot of content there. You could watch like the entirety of. I don't know if you want to
or something.
Yeah, or you go on a trip you go to Chicago and you're like, man, what have I not seen? Oh, I know.
Right.
The Larry Sanders Show. And just load it up, exactly. Man. That's a great show. Larry Sanders.
Caught up on Barry last night too. Woo!
I'm behind one episode. Was it good?
I won't say anything then.
Okay.
Yes.
Was it just Sunday? It had been Sunday's episode?
Just this last Sunday's episode. And I guess the finale is this coming Sunday.
Oh, that was
fast. Hank continues to be one of my favorite characters on television right now.
Yeah, maybe of the last 10 years. Hank is amazing.
Maybe, yeah.
I mean, I'm this close to calling
Hank and Badger, like
right. I'm this close to calling Barry the best show on TV right now. Like, it's so good. I may just say it. I think it is. I think it's just the best show on TV right now. It's so good.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, we have an embarrassingly a large amount. I can't talk. An embarrassingly large amount of TV shows to choose from. There, I got it out. That was some real word constipation.
I got an embarrassingly large amount out of a boss kill yesterday in World of Warcraft.
Oh, big instance tomorrow, by the way. Y'all got to get in there for that.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's going to be good.
Anyway, hey, what else have we got here in the news, Scott?
Well,
It's back.
here it is. Check it out. Hold on.
Burger King's Angry Whopper returns with flame grilled beef and the sting of jalapenos, angry sauce, and angry onions. Get the
Okay, so they're just dude broing it now. There's no king walking
Yeah.
around.
No,
Psh,
it's all a Mountain Dew ad.
Yeah, I don't
What
like
makes
it.
I can understand the sauce being angry. Why are the onions angry?
I don't get it. They should be happy. They should be thrilled about where they've ended up. They could
Right,
have just
exactly.
rotted in the ground. I mean, come on. What better way is this?
Stoic Squirrel wonders if Wendy can help determine why the Whopper is so angry.
Maybe. Well, I'd love to have a call from a burger who can relate. So give us a call. 801. No, I'm just kidding.
I used to be a happy Whopper. Now I'm just an angry Whopper.
I may go to McDonald's and become a happy meal.
Why are you angry, bro?
Here's a great story about a Utah bus driver. I like to
Okay.
give some local news a try once in a while. You may have seen this floating around your news because it did make national news. A Utah bus driver says he's not racist because his dog is black.
Oh God,
That's worse
Okay,
than my
wow.
friend. My best friend is black.
Far worse. Yeah.
This is worse. A Utah
I
mother.
watch Blackish.
Yeah, I like that show. It's real good. A Utah mother is suing a school bus driver who said she intentionally dragged her son. She claims that the bus driver did it because he's racist. So there's this video, 14-year-old kid, his backpack stuck in the door as he exits. The bus starts moving, dragging him several feet as students look on. So imagine the kid walking out, slump, and then getting pulled. In a civil rights lawsuit, the teen's mother claims he was targeted because he is biracial. I was glad he didn't kill him. I was glad he didn't go under the wheels, says the boy's mother. When asked if he considered himself to be a racist, the driver said, "Not at all. Look at my dog. He's as black as can be."
Oh my God.
You know, up to that point,
Yeah.
you
he
could
had
have
an
still
argument.
claimed, it's a
Right.
total accident. I shut the thing and didn't mean to. I feel terrible about it. You didn't have to try to explain that you're not racist by your dog as an example. Like, what are you doing? He said he didn't see the boy and would have stopped if he did. Although I don't know if I buy that either. It's like literally right there. So
Yeah.
he's driving. He's got his big wheel, and then right there is the door, and you've got the
And he
kid.
closes. He has to turn crank that thing to close the doors.
Right.
And
It's
so
not-
he'd be able to see if something's stuck in that door. Jeez.
Yeah. So maybe what's happened here is he is indeed a racist, or maybe he's just a dick.
I was gonna say, I'm not racist. I hate all kids equally.
Yeah, I don't like any kids. I hate this
This
job.
I just realized this was a really bad career choice. Bus driver.
You know, and the chat room's right. It's like saying I'm not racist. I own a black shirt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Luke Sightwalker is not incorrect. By the way, any locals who listen to the show looking for the sweetest, nicest pit bull ever as an adoption? Izzy. Here's the problem. She's great and she's not a huge problem or anything, but she just needs more attention. And when she's not getting attention, she's really hard to manage because she gets very emotional and chews on stuff she shouldn't and things like that. But only when she feels like she's not getting attention. Why is she not getting attention? Because there's a baby in the house now, and the baby gets most of the human attention because that's the way it goes. That's your offspring. You got to do it. So this poor dog, she's the sweetest thing. We are absolutely trying to find her and trying to help Taylor do this. Find her the most awesome home possible. We are not ever taking her to a pound or something. Or to
of course.
Not the pound. What do they call it now?
And she promises not to break all of your dog's legs.
Right.
If you already have a dog.
That's right. She promises not to do that. But she's the sweetest, kindest hearted dog ever. I'll never take her to animal control or a shelter. But we need just somebody who loves dogs and would just love to have a dog. So if anyone around and locally is like, hey, I even got room with this little dog runner. I've got another pit bull who would love the company because she loves other dogs. She loves kids. She loves cats even. She totally gets along with cats. So anyway, I think that would be good.
So I don't know how much I've told you about the current Tristan situation. You know that he's back living with us.
Yeah, I did know that.
And sometime this summer moving back out. But his girlfriend from New Mexico, he's going down on Saturday to with a large vehicle to pick her up and bring up her stuff because she's moving to Denver.
Oh, where's she moving? Here? To you?
To here, to our house.
Oh no.
We went from having no other people in the house
Yeah.
to having all the other people in the house.
Yeah. This is like having an empty nest and then 2 other birds move in.
Exactly.
Wow.
So and he cleared all this with us and asked if it would be okay. Now here's the funny part.
Okay.
When he first asked us about this, said, and also she's got a cat that's her cat down there in New Mexico, and she wants to bring it. Is that going to be okay?
Yeah.
And Tina and I are like, well, yeah. I mean, if it's her cat, we can't really separate her from her cat, and it would be a bummer, and we'll just figure out a way to make it work here in the house with Inara and Daisy and make sure that everything's good.
Yeah.
So, sad news this last week. Apparently, the cat got eaten by a coyote or something. I don't know what the what the situation is, but her cat was outside. Somehow died.
Oh my gosh! Bury the lead. That was amazing.
And in the same sentence, Tristan said, "So can we go buy a new cat?"
What?
Like, no, that wasn't the agreement. That's not the way that it works. It's not like you signed an agreement that you'll get to have a cat.
Yeah, it's not a cat under any circumstances. It's the one circumstance.
Right. It was her cat.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
So
that's hilarious. I think they should wait to get that cat after they find a place.
Yes, exactly. And that way they can make sure that the place that they find where they want to live allows cats. I mean,
there's something in the generation, man. Nick does stuff like this all the time. He'll say stuff like, things that are, I mean, happy birthday to him and all, but where is he?
Let me preface this next thought by wishing my son a happy birthday before I.
Yeah, but he'll not think it through sometimes, yes. And I don't know. I don't want to say that's a generational thing. It's probably just a 19 to 22-year-old thing, but he. And probably me too when I was that age. I don't remember. I was probably just like that too. But I don't remember it very well. And so it's easy for me to get frustrated about it. But he'll say things where it's like, did you think about that though before you said it? Or did you really think about what that would mean before you did it or whatever? Like the dog barfed in the middle of the night the other day.
Yeah.
Just barfed. Blah. He heard it, got up, wrapped the blanket up that had the dog barf in it. And just tossed it in the laundry room on the floor and didn't say anything about it. Just threw it in there and went back to sleep.
Somebody will see this and they'll figure it out.
So Kim's doing laundry. She grabs this blanket. She goes to shake it out, and out flies a big, hard, frozen in time dog barf bullet. And it just smacks against the wall. She's like, what the freaking crap is this? And she was so pissed that day. Because he just doesn't let anybody know. It's like, oh yeah, I was so tired. I just was like, meh. It's like, oh my gosh, you're 18.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't know what it is.
It's something.
They reach their brain just goes poof for a few years and.
Yeah, it's easy to want to overly simplify it and just say, it's a whole generation of kids. They're on their phones too much. They don't pay attention. They don't have an attention span anymore. I don't think it's that. I think it's just, age and maturity and lack thereof.
Right.
Well, anyway, this guy's a racist. So there's that.
No, he's not. His dog is as black as can be, and his dog is his best friend, so he can actually say, my best friend is black.
There you go. Nailed it. Final story. We got time for one. Let's see. Potato-throwing teenagers are scaring off a town's tourists. Oh, man.
I hope this is either Idaho or Ireland.
Potato kids. Oh, yeah, that'd be great, wouldn't it? Especially Idaho.
Yeah.
Complaints of antisocial behavior in Grandtown-on-Spey.
Oh, well, this is the UK. All right.
Grandtown-on-Spey.
Grandtown-on-Spey.
I hate that name. Anyway, they're mounting. It says the community council is now urging parents to keep their children in check to prevent them from scaring off tourists. Residents claim that as well as problems with noisy cars and nuanced bikers. Sorry, nuisance bikers. Nuanced bikers. You know, they just look all rough and tumble, but as they come closer, I can tell one's drinking tea and the other one's reading poetry.
Yeah, much more nuanced than they appeared to be down the street.
Yeah, weird. Of course, that's a title suddenly. Anyway, youths often, quote, jump out, unquote, or unleash foul-mouthed tirades at passersby. Last night, police confirmed they're aware of the allegations about the near miss, but said no official complaint has been made. Ann MacDonald said 2 guests who had been staying at her bed and breakfast, the Spay in Grandtown. Oh, could you get a little more creative and just like not have? You don't have to use Spay in all your words. Come on.
Right. If it's Grandtown on Spay and her bed and breakfast is the Spay in Grandtown. Oh, where are you going to be staying? I'm going to be staying at the Spay in Grandtown and Grandtown on Spay.
It's so bad. It just seems obvious to me that you wouldn't do that, but whatever. I don't know. What do I know? She said, we are very sad and disappointed at how 2 of our guests were treated in Grandtown. A couple staying with us a few days ago had been out for a lovely meal and were enjoying their stroll back when some idiots thought it would be funny to drive straight at them and throw what can only be described as hard potatoes at them.
What can only be described as hard potatoes? Because they were hard potatoes, maybe? Like, is that why they can only be described as hard potatoes?
That's amazing. That should be...
It was a drive-by vegetabling.
Veggie. A drive-by veg.
A drive-by veg.
Yeah. That's the full title, chat room, should be what can only be described as hard potatoes. That should be the title.
I think that's a great one.
It's a really good title for the show. So please do that. The lady's face was hit and marked. Her husband was also hit. Apparently not marked.
But not marked.
No.
Good.
I assume that means like a bruise or...
bruise or, yeah.
Okay. I don't know, man. Whatever. Teenagers throwing shit. This is as old as time. When I was a kid, I've told you about the snowball fight thing that happened, right? Did I tell you about that? All right, I'll tell this briefly.
Maybe.
This is a pretty good story. So I was 12, and I was at a scout meeting because I was in Boy Scouts. Okay, so we're all in our stupid, shirts and our dumb neckerchief crap and all that. And we're at this. It was being held at a chapel.
Neckerchiefs? What? Really?
Yeah, that's what they called them. It's like it's basically like a. I don't know what are they? They're
like a bandana wrapped around your neck?
Yeah, and then you
scarf.
have a
You're talking about a scarf?
No, it's not a scarf. It's like how do you... here, I'll show you.
An ascot? Were you wearing an ascot?
No, I was not. Okay, there it is. Here's a neckerchief. If you go to Wikipedia, I'll give you the link in the,
okay.
in the
Give me a
thing.
link, yeah.
Okay, so there's right there in our chat.
Okay. Oh, like a bolo tie thing.
Kind of, except it's the ones that we use in Scouts are more like if you scroll down.
Oh, right. In Scouts. Okay, I missed the Scouts part. Yes, it's the right.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah. So it was a Scouts neckerchief thing. We were at a Scout meeting, and it had ended and it had snowed, and the snow was wet and icy, and we thought it'd be funny after the meeting, and all these adults left. We thought it'd be funny if we went out and threw a few snowballs at oncoming traffic because you're 12 and stupid, right? So we did that. We went outside and we started throwing snowballs, and one of them hit a car that as it drove by, you could hear like Foreigner playing at like level 11 volume, which meant there were going to be some scary characters in that car. I just knew it. And it was like a jacked up looking kind of muscled looking car. Like there was no way anything good was going to come out of that car.
Please tell me the song was "You're as cold as ice." Willing to sacrifice all love.
I think it was that Urgent song.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think. I actually kind of remember that. Oh, even the chat room brought that up. But yeah, Urgent. Yeah. Is it called Urgent? Whatever it is.
Urgent.
That's the one. I think I heard that coming out of this car. But it was all like muffled. Like...
Because they had the windows closed.
Yeah. So they were screaming down the road. Somebody, I don't know who it was, threw an ice ball, and it was perfect. The car was going like this. The ice ball came like this. Bam! Smacked into the thing. Instead of just going on, comes to a complete stop, rips around, does like a full U-turn in the middle of the road, and starts driving toward us up this grassy hill of this chapel where we had our meeting. And we were like, oh no! And so all of us scramble and we go inside. It's pitch black in this place. And there's a baptismal font in there, right? Where people get baptized. Normally it's full of water. It's empty. So it's just like a big tub, but big, like a big, huge tub. And I decided to hide in there because that seems like a cool place to hide. So I went and hid inside of this baptismal font. And I hear the door open. Kaboom! Where are you effing kids hiding? I'm gonna come in here and freaking jam a stick up your a. Like he was super pissed. Whoever this was pissed.
He sounded super hot-blooded.
He was very hot-blooded. Nice connection. And so he starts stomping through the place and cussing like I never heard words like this coming out of somebody's mouth. And I am just in there with like one other guy in this font going, like we were terrified. We're only 12, right? We're just kids. And he goes bumping through there, and then I hear him go, I see you there. And then I hear a door slam, and then it goes quiet. And we still waited another 10 minutes, and we're like, I think they're gone. And so we go out there, and we walk into the foyer thing, and then I see the door. I see a figure walk shambling toward the door in the night, in the dark. And only the snow is lighting this shadowy figure. And I thought, oh no, dude, it's the guy again. And it wasn't. It was my friend Matt Kellogg. Rest his soul. He actually passed away from a horrible car accident years later. But anyway, Matt Kellogg at age 12, shambling up to the thing. He pops into the door. His nose is bleeding everywhere.
Oh no.
He got the shmoo kicked out of him by these guys.
He was the, basically took one for the team, took one for all you guys.
He did. And he was like, well, I guess we'll never do that again. I'm like, yeah, we're not doing that again. We're done. We're never throwing another ice ball ever.
For a kid like him.
I thought you were out of them, but you weren't. You had more.
Oh, no. I know. I got more. Yeah.
That's impressive. Anyway, can't believe I've never told that story. All right, we're going to take und break. When we come back, Wendy will be here. We got a big email to read, so we're going to do that with her shortly after Brian plays a song. What do you got?
That's right. So, normally this would be our Indie in the Middle moment, but I'm switching things around, and I'll explain why at the end of the show. I'm playing a request. I'm playing today's request right now. This one is going out to Alex Albisu, former ANTP contestant and runner-up and interviewer for the show.
All-around nice guy.
All-around nice guy. He says, oh, hey, guys, my daughter, Aria, is turning 2 on May 9th. I know this is a few days late. I'm super excited about celebrating her birthday and my second year of becoming a dad. Could you play a cover of Sweet Child of Mine to celebrate? It's a song I used to sing her to sleep when she was a newborn, and it would mean a lot. I hope he didn't go into the, where do we go now?
Where do we go now? Where do we go?
If you don't have a good cover of that, any cover about a birthday celebration general would be rad. Love the show, bros. Signed, Alex Albisu, the guy with the terrible voice, according to Scott.
Yeah.
P.S. Is it time to fire the ship's phasers?
Oh, geez. Yeah. Since you asked, totally can do that. Hold on. Where is it? Ship's phasers. Can't find it. Oh, there it is.
Let's test the ship's phasers.
There you go.
Phasers. You just love that one. All right, so a cover of Sweet Child of Mine. This is by Luca Stricagnoli, who does a really, really cool guitar. Like, this is the guy who plays all of the guitar, kind of like the Native Americans use all of the buffalo. This guy plays all of the guitar.
Great.
And he has like simultaneously playing melody on this part and rhythm with this part and all this stuff. Anyway, you'll love it when you hear it. From his album What If from 2017, here's his cover of Guns N' Roses' Sweet Child of Mine.
Fish and plankton and sea greens and protein from the sea. It's all here.
You imagine that shit? You imagine that shit?
The Morning Stream. That's my safety word.
You imagine that shit?
Another Metzen moment captured.
I can imagine that shit, Chris. I can.
I can't either. I mean, I can is what I meant. I can. I totally can. I was talking to him yesterday. I don't. Did you see the trailer? Did you watch it?
Yes.
It's pretty good,
yes.
right?
Yeah. Is it a trailer? I mean, it's a cinematic for 8.2, right?
Yeah, I shouldn't say trailer. It's just another one of their cinematics.
Yeah.
Probably.
As a rogue,
yeah.
As a rogue, I'm slightly hurt, but as a World of Warcraft player, I'm in awe.
Well, you should be both.
amazement.
You should be both happy and sad because on the one hand, you're a rogue player and you always have been, and now they finally got some CGI
We get some
representation.
good representation for sure of how the whole rogue thing
They've
works.
never even been in a cinematic before. First time. Same with Thrall. He hasn't been in one either. But
Right.
but then
really? Wow, this is the first Thrall?
First time Thrall's been in a CGI form. Like he's been plenty of in-game asset stuff, but never in one of the cinematics, which is pretty interesting if you think about it. But neither has Jaina, neither has like most of your big names have not been rendered out like that.
Mm-hmm.
Let me think.
No, it's gorgeous.
I mean,
really
I guess
well done.
Sylvanas has now twice, but yeah.
Somebody had the Better Call Thrall meme going yesterday. I didn't see if there was a video associated with it, but I did see the photo that I thought was pretty funny.
Luke Sightwalker says, "Didn't Metzen leave WoW? Dude, he left Blizzard. It was years ago. He still comes in and records stuff though.
It still does the voice stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. He just does voice stuff, so which is pretty cool. He also does Varian, which is kind of hilarious because then you got the two the two prime leaders of Horde and Alliance being voiced by the same dude. But anyway, if you haven't heard those interviews, they're worth listening to because a lot of it is reflected in that cinematic in a weird way. It came off very strange to hear that because he said a lot of that same stuff in our interview in a longer form, but that was weird. Anyway, cool. Wendy time. Yeah. Well,
yes,
of
course.
I think it's a good idea.
Let's do our weekly validation of making this show actually help people and do something important.
Yeah, actually impact the world in a positive way. This
That's
one
right,
time,
exactly.
one time a week, every week we do it, and we'll see how this goes this time. We're calling.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Greetings.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Oh,
How are you guys?
That's fantastic. I heard Misha's coming out there. Is that true?
She is. Yeah, she's gonna be here Sunday night.
Because you're going to New York, right?
Yeah.
With
So she's gonna hang out a couple days, and we're gonna wow her with some cheese curds and some lake time, and then she's gonna watch the kids while we're in New York.
Still one of my favorite things that Brian and I ever got on the show were those cheese curds from Lon. Do you remember that, Brian?
Oh, those were so good. Yeah.
They were. I guess it was a Nerdtacular we brought them, but man, I could eat cheese curds now and forever. They're so good.
Fresh, squeaky cheese curds.
Yeah, they got to be squeaky. If they're not squeaky, get them out of my face.
They're not fresh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wendy Dunford, she is my sister. I was going to say formerly my sister. She's just formerly a Johnson. She's my sister. She comes on Thursdays and uses her actual expertise as a real therapist and helps you guys with your problems and does it for free. And we're always happy to have you on. I was thinking the other day, I you know what, I ought to do this sometime. I ought to put the word out that, hey, I'm looking for anybody who felt like they came away from Therapy Thursday with like a real change for themselves. Either people that wrote in or people that just heard it and applied it to their lives, read one of the books Wendy recommended, whatever, and just get a nice list of like success stories from the Therapy Thursday stuff. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah.
That'd be
And
cool.
then like the harm stories. How has this made your life worse?
Yeah. Got to be a couple of those out there.
Gotta
Sure.
be honest.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah. We have to assume that at least one or two people have come out worse. Anyway, so we're going to get to it. Here's your theme.
Lick balls.
Lick balls. All right, great. Let's get started.
I did not.
You did say
Wait,
lick.
what did I do it again?
Balls. Here you go. I'll do it again.
Lick balls.
Yeah, but you can kind of hear me in there too, so it's hard to see.
Lick balls.
But you definitely said lick balls.
I did not. I said bake balls. That's
Yeah, I
better.
heard bake balls.
Oh, I thought it said. Oh, no, you're right. Okay, hold on. How about this one then?
Barnacles in a wad.
There, that's a good one.
That's good. I believe I said that.
Yeah, that one I did not doctor. All right, we're gonna read an email this week. This is from somebody I've actually met. Some of the nicest people I met, and they have a question. So here you go. We're gonna refer to this person as Jay. Here's the background. Near the end of 2015, my wife and I were in a car accident, which resulted in my wife having a CT scan at a nearby hospital. While there were no injuries from the crash, the doctor noticed an anomaly with her heart and recommended we follow up with a cardiologist. This kicked off a whirlwind of events starting in 2016 and continued to the present. I will try to keep it brief. So here's a little background, and then we'll get to his actual question. My wife has had symptoms from her condition her entire life. These include dizzy spells, chest pain, shortness of breath, and bouts of fatigue unrelated to physical activity. A local team of cardiologists determined that she was born with a hole in her heart and eventually performed a minimally invasive procedure to close the hole. We went to multiple drug trials over the years, or course of the year rather, to get her body used to the new way her heart was beating and to manage her continuing symptoms. She eventually went to the Cleveland Clinic for a second opinion on treatment and was taken off all medications. Months after being on the medication, she went back to her local cardiologist team to have more tests done. They discovered a second hole in her heart and apologized for missing the first one. At their urging, we filed a formal complaint with their healthcare system. They referred us to another cardiologist to resolve the problem. The new cardiologist ran more tests and came to a different conclusion. She doesn't have a second hole. She has an extra vein going into her heart. He referred her to yet another cardiologist. The new cardiologist said the extra vein was not a big deal and put her on a new medication to help with her symptoms. We recently had all of her scans and tests results sent to the Cleveland Clinic for analysis. It turns out she doesn't have one extra vein going to her heart. She has two extra veins going to her heart. And we have to be, and it will have to be corrected with open heart surgery. The surgery will involve stopping her heart, removing the implanted device from the previous surgery, and rerouting these extra veins. Throughout this time period, we've had multiple emergency visits to the ER due to many strokes and side effects from the various medications. Every time we thought things were resolved, something else would happen. So, here's his question. Here we go. In the summer, my wife needs to have open heart surgery. While the survival rates for the procedure are high, there's still a chance she'll die from it. As a parent of two young children who are now 7 and 9, how do I talk about this with them without making them worry unnecessarily? If the unthinkable happens, what should I do to help them deal with it? As a side topic, he says, if she has been experiencing symptoms her whole life, you may wonder why it was not addressed earlier. First of all, she was one of 4 children raised by a mostly neglectful mother. Secondly, she was asthmatic. The symptoms of her condition rose. They treated it like it was just part of her asthma. When asthma treatments didn't resolve the symptoms, her mother accused her of being overly dramatic and seeking attention. This false notion that's solidified and informed her family's opinion of her over the years. My wife has intentionally invited her mother along to doctor appointments, and doctors have literally stated that should have been caught when she was younger, but her mother has shown no acknowledgement of remorse. If there is a constructive way to address it, what is it? And then finally he says, I'm trying to remain hopeful as the surgery date approaches. I fell in love with her the moment I saw her, and I don't know what I would do if I lost her, but I am more concerned about what will happen to the kids if things go wrong. Feel free to reply and ask any questions. Jay in Ohio. So, wow, it bums me out extra because I met them and they're so nice when I was out there. Just incredibly nice people. So I just don't like when nice people have to deal with horrible things. But so Wendy, this is obviously a lot of medical end of this going on. But he's trying to think ahead and prepare for the worst. I don't know that I would call any of this catastrophe.
Kids,
and having how the kids would have to deal with it. 7 and 9's pretty young and pretty impressionable for, potentially losing your mother, or at the very least even see her go through this kind of trauma.
Mm-hmm.
So where do you want to start? Where do you want to go?
Well, let's take his sort of the kid question first. That whole how her mother dynamic. Whoa, that's a whole nother thing. So let's just stick with the kid thing to start here. So first of all, they've been through a ton. I'm reading this and thinking I would be bankrupt. Like I can't ever.
Yeah. How many specialists?
I've never had insurance that would do this. Like it's just blowing my mind. So I hope they're okay in that regard. Yeah. That's crazy. And also just like the getting the diagnosis wrong and having to meet with so many specialists and, this sounds pretty anomalous. I've never actually heard of an extra vein, and then to have 2, that's amazing. And so he's thinking, all right, here's this, like it's a major surgery and, typically people do okay, but you never know. How do I prepare? So a couple things with kids that age in particular, 7 and 9, is that, they're cognitively at a place where they can understand potentially a little more of the nuance of things, right? So when it's a little kid, like a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old, you would not say, you know what, mommy could die, so let's, you don't give them anything that hasn't been introduced into their head already.
Yeah.
So a 7 and 9-year-old who've kind of watched mom go through a bunch of this and have some different health problems, I'm sure they're not completely unaware. So what I would want to know, and maybe he's already done this, or maybe he has to find this out, just what are they already thinking? What is their assessment of the situation as it is already? What's happened? And you may find that, one kid's just like, well, it's fine, I think it'll work out, and not super worried. So you don't want to take that kid and sit him down and go through the whole, now if mom dies, you don't want to make it a lot harder from them than it needs to be. But you may also have one of those kids who has been scared for a long time and has, maybe just has lots of anxious thoughts and feelings and hasn't really shared them because they don't want to make things worse. So you just need to first meet them where they are, find out what is going on with both of them. And maybe he already has a sense of that. I don't know. And then it's really going to be a little bit individualistic. I'm sure someone's advice might be, stay away from all the words that would, freak them out, tell them only what's necessary, etc. But I think, once you kind of get a sense of where the kids are at and you have a relationship with them, obviously, you might know best what they need. And maybe they need to hear, this is pretty scary. And maybe you have family rituals that you participate in that are helpful. Maybe you pray together, or you have a night before this, not before the surgery, but sometime before the surgery takes place, where it's just really dedicated to the four of you sitting down and talking it through and sharing feelings and love. And you're creating good stuff. And so if the worst happens, you have some events that were in somewhat cathartic or preparatory, and hopefully, heaven forbid, that's not the case. And then you just have this bond. You have an openness about what your family is going through. One of the hardest things about medical challenges with anybody is that we all, just give a dude a man cold and see how that family structure falls apart. Like it can be really taxing when we handle illness differently. We have different attitudes. Maybe someone's like crazy optimistic and the other person's crazy not optimistic. And so you're sort of navigating a whole level of life that is stressful and expensive and scary. And so, if you can counteract that in any way with some type of bonding, connecting ritual where it's open and honest, but also, reminding everyone that you love each other, and it gives some real sense of groundedness beforehand, I think you're going to win either way. It'll be an important thing to have. And also really just checking with them on where they're at. And maybe it's not you that can do that checking. Maybe it's a close family member, a friend that can just sort of, let you know how they're doing, because the kid will open up to them, or because, kids are in various stages of expressing themselves and confusion, and they don't know exactly what to do, and they don't want to hurt you or stress you out. So, maybe providing them a little space to say what they're thinking and feeling could go a long way.
Yeah. And like, if you're a little kid, I'm trying to think of this purely from the perspective of, it's probably almost, I don't want to assume this, you can tell me if I'm wrong about this, but the kids being involved is probably making him more mindful of things and less panicked or thinking about, you know what I mean? Like because he has to think about this for their sakes. He maybe can approach it with a less. This is all wrong, but less emotional standpoint, or less of a panic standpoint, and more of a preparatory sort of mindset. Is that good in this scenario? Like, is it better that he's this person who's trying to think ahead, or is it better that he just lets the emotion of all this, take him wherever it's going to take him? I don't know if that even makes sense.
Yeah, no, I think so. I think, and everyone's a little bit different. Like, there's the ostrich type folks who are like, okay, well, go off to surgery and I'm going to stick my head in the sand and then you'll just come back out and everything will be fine.
Yeah.
And all the way to the other side of things where it's every single thing is planned out and both have both have an attempt to control their feelings, right? So I'm going to over prepare, be completely ready for every contingency. That's a sense of control. And the person who doesn't want to hear any of the words coming out of anyone's mouth and just wants to distract until the surgery is over, it's also to prevent fear, right? We're trying to minimize something that is pretty unknown. Now, obviously, this type of surgery, it sounds like it's a good one, and people have done it before, and her chances are high. And it sounds like she's youngish, and so this isn't, probably not a surgery you want to do in your 90s. But it's probably likely going to turn out okay. And that's the thing. His personality is going to depend, and of course, this email and how he's writing makes me think he's a little more on the side of prepping, which is great. And I think the way sometimes we can get caught up in the physical preparation to do this type of thing. And what's great is he's asking about this emotional preparation, because you really can have an impact this way. And in the end, we want something like this to bring your family closer. Mm-hmm. And so that's the goal. And that's the reason for having a sit down with them and having the whole family talking and connecting, is to feel closer. And so if she does pass, and that is unexpected and very difficult, there's this important connection that was made and is, can continue to some extent. So, I mean, that's why I recommend that. And just that the kids have a place to say the things they're thinking and the things they're feeling. Because it is really easy to want a kid to just keep quiet. You may not think you want that, but you do. When you're in all the stress of everything, you're not like, it's not exciting to have a kid come up and be crying and saying what he needs, because it really is tricky. And kids will pick up on that. My family is stressed. I'm just going to close up over here in the corner. Yeah. And so it's giving, everybody a floor to talk and express whatever they're going through, and that they're loved no matter what, and it's okay. And, so that type of sort of meeting of sorts, or maybe a few of those, would be important. And, the kids will feel validated. That goes a long way in having them handle the stresses and handle, any eventual outcome.
Yeah. I wonder if there's he doesn't give any information about extended family, so we don't really know the situation of that, other than
for that mother-in-law.
Yeah, so for that horrendous sounding mother on her side. But I wonder how much of that support system is in place, because that can be pretty helpful or important. I mean, I know if I was just thinking out loud here, but if Dylan and Taylor were going through something like this, a huge support for them would be Kim would go into freaking overdrive. Like, it would be, you would not be able to not have her there as whatever help you needed. And that can be huge. So you don't feel like you're having to do this all by yourself. And I get the feeling from the message that there's not a lot of that, only because he just didn't mention any of it.
Right.
Otherwise, it feels like something you might. But I would, if that's an option, or if that's a thing that we're not factoring here, Jay, that's huge, or can be.
Yeah.
And
rallying people around you. And what's so hard is when you're in the midst of all of this, it's hard to then say, all right, everybody, now is the time to engage. Come on, come help me, because your energy is all going into a different direction. So, but recognize no one can read your mind. I think people are sort of notoriously crappy at, and some of it's cultural too. Maybe to come in and just start cleaning up and doing things, and maybe some
compartmentalizing
people, that's easy for them to come in and help, and then someone else is just like, I'm going to wait for them to ask me. And I don't know. I think it varies with families and people, and sometimes communities. So whatever the group you're around there, Jay, maybe it's that you'll have to ask them to join in and help out and sort of seek out your community to do that. Even though that may be hard, it can make a huge difference. I would say, the side topic of the mother is really interesting, because it's the very nature of what kids need from a mother. Mm-hmm. Is this, can you be there for me? And at its core is, do you believe me? Right. And here is this poor girl's mother has her whole life not believed her. And here she has 2 veins. She has to get open heart surgery. All the proof is now in the pudding. But for all the, and obviously for baggage reasons and problems, that, she's been sort of slighted as you're just attention seeking. And here it's sort of being validated. And the temptation, which it looks like she's got caught up in a few times, which is taking her mom to doctor's appointments.
Yeah.
And she just can't, she's not going to go there. That is an attempt to get the support, but you are looking in the wrong place. You are not going to get it from this lady. If she can go to a doctor's office and be told this stuff and still
not. Well, and that's the thing. And the last thing you want to be doing right now, when you should be preparing for surgery and getting your psyche to that point that you're going to be going through all this, is having to still try and defend it to your mother or prove it. It's like
you get a well-deserved vacation from attempting to get her on board.
Yeah, exactly.
It's only going to suck your energy and do no good.
Totally.
Well, let us know how it goes. I don't know. This one feels personal because I met him. It really bums me out. Usually it's a little easier for me to separate myself from this stuff for Brian and I, because, we may not know you, but, you've also got a pretty good support system in the Tadpool. Rely on them as well. They're always good for comforting words. There's a ton of them in Ohio alone. The
Tadpool will always believe you.
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
So count on them. That's a good support system if you don't have one to rely on outside of it. And even if you do, they're a nice little extra layer. So let us know how it goes. I'm very, very interested in how this all turns out. Hopefully, I mean, we are at a point, complain about all the healthcare we want. We're at a point where it's basically magic. If we were in the 1800s, the way people can do stuff today medically is just insane and amazing and can turn everything around. So, it's never been a better time than now, probably, than to have to deal with this. So I guess whatever small comfort that is, I hope that helps too. Wendy, anything else going on we should tell people about?
Yeah, so this is a little early, but last night I recorded an episode with Alex on the Dad Chronicle. I was in disguise as a dad.
I was going to say, but you're not a dad.
Weird.
I did really well as a dad. No, we were talking about just sort of how to destigmatize therapy a little bit, and especially if you're a dad, how to get help or support your wife if she has sort of postpartum depression issues, or the other is sort of a little bit of navigating just being dads in the modern era. And it's a fun ride being a dad, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. No, dads are
It was a lot of fun. So I don't think he's going to post it for a couple weeks, but I just did it last night, so it's on my brain. So I'll tell you when it's coming out, but it was really fun to talk to him.
No, nice. Well, I'll definitely check it out. I'm supposed to schedule a thing with him soon. So
right,
well done, Alex.
An actual dad.
Well, yes, I'm a dad, but also well, never mind. I was going to make a dumb comment. I'm not going to do it now. Forget what I was going to say. All right.
I wonder if Alex will bring up what you said about his voice one time.
Probably might bring it up a couple times in there. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, it's been a pleasure, as Dad would say, to have you here with us. And I look forward to doing it again next week. In the meantime, people can follow you on Instagram over there at Wendy Dunford. And have fun in New York. Or when do you get back? Or is this?
Oh yeah, so I won't be on the show next week, unless I'm somewhere.
Thanks for the heads up.
Yeah, sorry, man. Maybe I'll just call you from whatever cool is in what is that place I'm going? New York. I don't know.
That place.
So the cool part about New York, I should tell you this real quick. The reason we're going, it's not just because New York in May, which is a great time to go, is my good friend in Sweden is meeting us there. She was a refugee from Albania, Kosovo in the 90s. And I mean, she has an American flag on her house. She wears American flag stuff. Like, she is the biggest fangirl because, their perception at the time is it was all us that saved them. And we were the soldiers that came in. And I mean, if you ever want to feel patriotic, just talk to an Albanian. I mean, they think we're better than we ever will be.
We may have been
so cute. And I'm the first American she's ever known.
Yeah.
And so we made this plan to meet in New York. It'll be the first time she's on American soil. I think she'll never stop crying. She's just so excited. So that's why we're going. We're going to go meet her and
that's great.
hook up with some other friends and just chill out.
Yeah,
Eat
have
pizza.
some chill out in the world's busiest city that never sleeps. But no, that's awesome. I'm excited for you, and I think it's cool that Wendy, or that Misha rather, is going to get to hang out with your kids. That's pretty cool.
I know. It'll be great for everyone involved.
Aunt Misha.
Aunt Misha. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, in Mississippi, I don't live there. In Minnesota, I just have to throw this weird thing out. In Minnesota, they say bag, they say big, right? Like it's
big.
Put your
better put that in a bag.
Yeah,
put your bagel in a bag. Yeah. It's terrible.
Yeah.
But here's my favorite thing too:
it's
is they
terrible.
only say aunt.
Aunt.
So it's like
aunt. Oh, really? They don't go aunt.
Yeah.
Aunt.
Yeah.
And then they say aunt. So it's like suddenly they're British in the middle of a sentence. They'll just say aunt.
So
aunt.
big. Put your.
So
where's
Aunt
your?
Misha is coming.
What if they said, "Where's my keys?" Oh, they're in your aunt's big.
Yeah,
right?
That's exactly what it would sound like.
That's not
good. Your aunt's big.
What are the little six-legged critters that run around on the ground called? Are those?
Oh, yeah.
Don't step on that pile of aunts.
There's an aunt in my
I've
shirt.
never heard them.
Yeah.
I will find out.
All right. That's your homework. You're always giving us homework. Your homework is to find out what they call ants. That'd be great.
Yeah. Okay.
Get back to us. It's Wendy Dunford, everybody.
Go see that new Marvel movie, Ant-Man.
Ant-Man. Aunt and the Wasp, or however they'd say it.
Wasp.
Fantastic week to you and yours, and we'll see you in a week from 2 weeks. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Okay.
2 weeks.
See you guys.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
I was right there with you.
It's impossible not to hear 2 weeks and not think of
as soon as you hear 2
Recall.
weeks, it's all you can think of. Yeah.
All right. One more reminder that tomorrow is a big episode of The Instance. There's so much stuff this week. It's stupid how much there is. We have release dates for Classic. The beta is now in the wild. People have been playing it. We have a lot to say about it. Not only that, we got that new thing, cinematic. Bunch of stuff happening in World of Warcraft. So do check out tomorrow's show. It should be a good one. Probably myself, Patrick, and Garrett. I don't know if Terpster will be there for that one. Maybe, possibly. That boy's busy.
Yeah,
very busy.
That boy needs therapy.
That boy needs therapy. All right, that's it for this show. We're going to be out of here now. I would like to remind you, if you'd like to support the show, patreon.com/TMS. We do a 5th episode a week on Fridays called TMS PM because of that and your support there. And that will happen tomorrow at 3:30 Mountain. So come on back for that. Everything else you may need to know from us is over at frogpants.com/TMS. Brian Ibbett, we should leave now. Do you have a song for us to play?
Yeah, I just want to know when Warcraft 3 reloaded, rehashed, rejiggered.
I was a little surprised that wasn't the announced release date.
Yeah.
Because that's literally like on pre-order and has been since BlizzCon, I think. So I was surprised that didn't get announced. And now with this new date, I have to think it's after that. And if it is, maybe it's after BlizzCon. I don't know.
I want it now.
I know. I want to play it. I'm ready.
Yeah.
My body's ready. Yeah.
All right. So I told you in the middle of the show that we were flip-flopping our request and our indie in the middle. It's an indie at the end. But this is still a request. But here's why it's at the end. It's a 9-minute long song. And it's not Dream Theater, believe it or not.
Whoa.
I know, right? That's the most surprising part.
Yeah.
This one came to us from Jason Hawthorne, who I don't know if you saw these guys. He's in Mississippi and ran across their music, and that's all I know. But they sound like a gamer had a dream, and then it had a soundtrack produced by Kansas and Yes. It's really, really good. It's really good.
All right.
The song is called Goliath's Moon. It's by the band Southern Empire from their album Civilization, which came out last year. It is 9 minutes long, but it's excellent. It's worth checking out. Here is Southern Empire, Goliath's Moon.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
He's constipated and can't get the poo the full distance. Oh, that's me.
What is that from?
That's from, it must be another show we did, but I don't remember. I didn't even know that clip was me until I played it. Weird.
I don't know.
Metzen laughed. I'm Thrall.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm Thrall.